Alright, what's up everybody? Your boy Swift here, aka Brett, back with some Divinity Original Sin this time around. Alright, this game is a great game. If you've ever played D&D, it's kind of like D&D, but a video game. Yeah, it's all the combat's turn-based, much like D&D, and I believe I don't know if it's initiative in this or if it's just speed or something that affects which order you go in. But there's a stat you have that affects the order you go in. So we're just going to jump straight into it, and we'll figure it out as we go, and learn more as we go. We're going to be doing Explorer, because I'm by myself, and Classic is stupid hard, and I have no idea how Tactician works. So, here we go. Begin. Alright, now here we are at the character creation screen. There's a bunch of different origin characters you can play, but we're going to be creating our own. However, I'm going to go through and let you watch each of the different origin stories.
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
Alright, so that's the Red Prince, and while I'm not too sure, I think later on the origins will play a part in the game somehow. But as I said, we're going to be running our own character because this is going to be our story, not some other guy's story. Now, next, we have Sibel.
I used to be a slave, kept under the thumb of the master, the bastard that made me hunt down my own kin. How did he do that, you ask? With the living scar you see on my cheek, this horror that takes no more than a song sung by Master Dearest to control my very thoughts. But now the tables have turned. I broke my shackles, and when I finally find him, I will make the master sing a very different kind of song.
Alright, and there we have Sibel, the elf. Now, while we're going through these, I'm actually going to look at their abilities too. So here, the Red Prince has Dragon's Blaze, which basically is a breath weapon where he breathes fire everywhere, leaving behind a fiery surface that deals damage or could even light people on fire. However, it is resisted by magic armor, and enemies are set burning for 2 turns, and it only has 9 meters range. Next, he has Demonic Stare, which drains magic armor, which could be very useful if we run into that later. So we might pick him up as a companion later. But anyway, drains magic armor from the target. Oh, and he gains it for himself. I didn't know that. Restore magic armor equal to damage dealt. That has a 15-meter range. Next, his talents, he is Sophisticated, which gives him a plus 10% fire resistance and plus 10% poison resistance. And he also has Spell Song, which is a plus 1 persuasion from Spell Song. And basically all of the races have these talents here. And I think, for the most part, I think the guys here, the Origins, might have their own special skill. But one of their skills is also the race skill that they get. And down here's your classes. We'll look at that when we're going through to create our own. Sorta, because I know exactly what I want to play and exactly how I'm going to play it. And Sibel, she has Flesh Sacrifice, which I know is an elf thing, and basically they gain an action point immediately and a 10% damage boost for 2 turns at the cost of -1 Constitution, which if you're careful could easily screw you over. However, any action points over your maximum are lost. It sets Flesh Sacrifice for 2 turns. I'm not sure if that gives you the action point for 2 turns, because I haven't really tried it, but I'm certain it gives you the damage bonus for 2 turns. Next is Break the Shackles. It removes the following negative statuses from yourself: silence, slowed, crippled, chilled, shocked, plagued, suffocating, atrophy, diseased, infectious diseased, and shackles of pain. Her talents are Corpse Eater, which makes it so that she can eat the body part of a dead person and access their memories. Ancestral Knowledge gives her a +1 to Lore Master. And here we have Ifan bin Mezd. We just have Ifan, that's what everyone calls him.
Once I was a crusader for the Divine Order. I pledged my life to Lucian the Divine. The war changed everything. He sent me to save the elves I grew up amongst. I arrived too late. Lucian ordered the use of death fog against the Black Ring, annihilating everyone I once knew in the process. Now I'm a mercenary killer, one of the infamous Lone Wolves. And my next target is none other than Lucian's own son.
Alright, now the death fog he mentioned, I'm not sure how much we'll run into it later, but I know there's a room on the ship that we start on, and it's going to have a little bit of death fog in it. And basically what death fog is anything that's alive dies instantly from breathing it in. Alright, now his talents. He has Encourage, which encourages allies and increases primary attributes for 3 turns. And he can summon a Soul Wolf. It can howl and bite enemies. The stats of the summons will depend upon caster level and summoning ability, with a 15-meter range. The duration is 10 turns. His talents are Ingenious, which gives him 5% critical chance and 10% extra critical multiplier, and Thrifty, which gives you a +1 to bartering. Next up, we have Beast, who is a dwarf. He has Petrifying Touch, which deals 9 to 10 earth damage, removes bleeding, burning, poisoned, and crippled. It sets Petrified for 1 turn, but it can be resisted by magic armor. Blinding Squall. A storm approaches and strong winds rise. They blind and deal 12 to 13 air damage to enemies in the target area, and it sets Blinded for 1 turn, but can be resisted by magic armor. Has a 15-meter range. Sturdy. Sturdy gives you +10% maximum vitality and +5% to dodging, which can be very useful. Dwarven Guile gives you +1 in sneaking, which I'm not sure how Dwarven Guile makes him sneak, but I reckon it's because he's short. Now, let's listen to his story.
Just thinking about someone I used to know. My cousin. The Queen, in fact. A tyrant. I tried to stop her, but things don't always go according to plan. She cast me out to a forgotten island, and made short work of my allies, too. Lucky for me, I was able to commandeer a ship, and began a new life for myself, out on the high seas. Aye, but I hear that the Queen is at it again. There's something darker behind her madcap schemes this time. If I don't stop her, I don't know who will.
Alright, and there we have Beast, the dwarf. Next up is Los. She has Encourage, the same as Ifan, and Maddening Song. Sing, causing enemies in the target area to become mad. Maddened characters will attack those nearest them, regardless of alignment. Set mad for 1 turn, resisted by magic armor with a 15-meter range. She has the same stats as Ifan because she's also a human. Oh, wait. Skipped over her origin story.
been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who or what is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
Alright, and there's Los. Next up, we have Fane, the Undead. His talents are Play Dead, fool enemies into thinking you're dead. Cooldown of skills will be paused. Any action you take will cancel this. You can play dead for 3 turns. It does not break invisibility or sneaking. And he also has Time Warp. Target a character. Whenever this character ends a turn in combat, they immediately get a free turn. Receive an extra turn in combat for 1 turn with a 6-meter range. Since he's undead, it lets you heal from poison, but regular healing will damage you instead. You will receive poison status even if you have magic armor. And Ingenious gives you a plus 5% bonus critical chance and plus 10% extra critical multiplier, which I believe is the same as human, because he's basically a human, an undead human. Alright, and then we have our custom characters, which have the same stuff as the other guys, for the most part. Now, what I'm thinking is perhaps we'll go Undead Elf, maybe? I'm not sure, though. I don't think I want to mess around with Undead right now. I think we'll run a Dwarf, maybe? Let's see, we have Enchanter. I know for a fact that I want to run, where is it? Fair Witch, Wizard, Battle Mage, Cleric, Conjurer, which has Conjurer Incarnate, which conjures a personal elemental that matches the ground surface it's summoned onto. Your Incarnate can be buffed with infusions. Once you hit summoning ability level of 10, a Colossal Incarnate Champion will answer your summons. The stats of the summons will depend on caster level and summoning ability. 13-meter range, duration 10 turns. And then Dimensional Bolt. Shoot a volatile bolt that deals 9 to 11 of a random type and then creates a corresponding surface. Damage is based on your level and receives bonuses from intelligence with a 13-meter range. And finally, we have Elemental Totem. Target a ground surface and conjure a totem of the corresponding element. Each turn, this totem will fire a projectile at enemies in sight. The stats of the summons will depend on caster level and summoning ability. 13-meter range with a duration of 3 turns. Now, that, coupled with that, can deal some damage. And if you get the right stuff from your Dimensional Bolt, you can mess some people up. Because that can throw down the ground for that and that to get their infusions from. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about is the race I want to run. I think maybe a lizard, but I'm not sure. I'll run an elf, because that'll help us out a little bit. Now, this character is going to be Swifty the Elven Born. Alright. Let's see. How do we want to look? Earth, nutmeg, dune, honey, walnut, shale, turf, caramel. I'm sorry, but that doesn't look very caramely. No, not really caramely. Cocoa, ebony, night, fulgen, alabaster. Thinking we might go with this color, kind of pinkish color. Which face do we want? Let's see here. Quit turning, man. Turn a little more, actually. That ought to do. See what faces we have. Whoa. Alright. Be an old man. We'll go with this face because he looks kind of like a human with elf ears, kind of. His hairstyle. That looks a little. No, not going with that. That looks kind of weird. We can be bald, alright. Okay, it seems he doesn't have many hairstyles. I don't really like most of them, so we're just going to go with the default, I reckon. See, what colors do we have? Timberwolf, Crow, Gecko, Peacock, Ice Bear. We'll go with Ice Bear, actually. Facial features, don't have any. Voice.
Almost got me that. Meet your maker. I'm ready. Glory is mine.
I think we'll go with Scholar since we are a conjurer. And here, we're going to take all of our points out of Constitution. We're going to put them into Intelligence and Wits. Because that's going to serve, Wits will serve us later in its own way. But Intelligence is what our main stat's going to be derived from. It's for combat. Let's see. Wish we had one more point. Oh, we do. Leadership. I want to start off with as much summoning as I can. Because our goal is going to be to get to level 10 summoning quick. Then we're going to pick up Persuasion. Because that'll help us out a little. And be done with that. Let's see here. Farsight Infusion. Unlock ranged attack for your Incarnate. Provides 7 magic armor. Increases damage by 25%. Okay, so that's a infusion for our dude. We might drop and pick up that, maybe? You'll go with that, because we're going to rely on our summon and our totem a lot. Alright. Now, talents. Pet Pal is going to be very useful later. And, it's about all we can get, really, right now. Now, our tags. Basically, the tag system, it sets what your origins are, and depending on your tags, you'll get certain prompts that, say I'm a barbarian, and a mystic or something random like that. I can get prompts that are more barbaric or more mystical meaning than what a noble would get. Because a noble would probably be more, you know, snooty or mannered in comparison to a barbarian. But I think we're going to run a scholar and perhaps mystic. After all, we are a conjurer. And you can just read what mystic does. Cracks in reality led you to other times and places. Some of the void, some of the gods. Your vision is not quite your own, but you can make use of it. And then scholar, you know, we're a mage, so we gotta have scholar. Now the instruments. Instruments are interesting. Basically, what it is it's your instrument that plays when stuff's going on for you. So I'll just let you have a listen. Now I'm thinking we're going to run with the Bansuri thing as our origin instrument. And that's about it. That's everything we can do. Nope, that's for multiplayer. Let's not mess with it right now. We're going to do a multiplayer playthrough soon, actually. It's going to be more of a shenanigans, just see what we can get into, running around having fun with friends. Alright, we're done with our character.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And like flies to honey, monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
Alright.
Still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Alrighty. So I'm going to adjust audio because I realize it may be a little low. We're going to hope we don't get it too high. Seems like it's kind of being wonky today for some reason. In comparison to when I set my audio up. Alright. So, rather than going around and going up to where she wants us to go,
Wasn't a dream after all.
we're going to do a little bit of exploring. Oh, I'm sorry. Just talking over that guy. We're going to do some exploring then. We're going to pick up some items. What was that? Oh, game saved. Alright. So we're going to start off. We're going to punch this. I'm kidding. It has too much health for us to kill. We are going to take this, though. We're going to put that on. Nah, we don't need a helmet. We could wear that bucket as a helmet, though. Now, let's see here. If I can get the camera angle right. Is there anything over there? Nope. And we're going to go ahead and loot this box. It's empty. So, toss it out of the way. And grab this. We're going to come right on through here. There's livestock in here.
Animals,
Or a sheep, at least.
freight, or food.
I'm going to grab that.
Did you expect a needle?
I did indeed. It's a bucket of water, but we don't really need it right now. So we're going to leave it alone. There's a bucket we can apparently fight, because it has health or whatever. We're going to kill this sheep in a minute. Let's see, there should be a weapon around here somewhere. I think it's a shiv. Alright, we're going to come in there. Take that. That key we just got. Oh, okay. I don't think stuff's supposed to be able to go up there. Okay then, alright. Well, we're going to come on through here anyway. And let's see what we're working with. What is that? Arrow shafts. Nice. We're not really going to need it right now, but it could be helpful later. For, like, special arrow crafting and crap. Didn't mean to grab that plate. I'm trying to grab all the food. Alright, let's search over here. Nope. There's a shiv somewhere, but I have no idea where it's at. Here it is. Alright. Or a pocket knife, I should say. So we're gonna have to use this to start off with, because we don't have a wand right now.